Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. We're ready, bud. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Sunday edition of Morning
Go.
Scone, presented by
Back.
Brock. Indeed. Drew's here. Been awake since 6:30.
O.
Watching Dr. O. That's right. So Drew's surgeon from Texas Children's is Dr. O, Dr. Olatoye, Dr. Olyinka Olatoye. Amazing man. There's a video of Dr. O explaining one of the procedures. Elevator. And Drew likes to watch Dr. O, his video. It's like he's explaining fetal endotracheal occlusion. Endoscopic tracheal occlusion. And Drew just watches Da-O. I love you. Did you have a good night? You want to say good morning? Say Ronnie Dugard, good morning. Nick Torina, good morning. Mark McCarter, good morning. James Tyrone, good morning. Kirk Taylor, good morning. Huh?
Already.
You're ready? We're doing it. We're doing Dad's show. I know you're ready. Say hi, Cheryl. Cheryl. Say hi, Cheryl. Say hi, Cheryl.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. Well, Cheryl does sound like Laurel is Drew's cousin. He's very excited to see Laurel today. Cheryl does sound like Laurel.
Show.
Dad's show. This is Dad's show. Very good.
Mommy's car.
Mommy's car. We're gonna go in Mommy's car a little later.
Mowagon.
Okay. What?
Mowagon.
Good morning.
Mowagon.
Hi. I don't know what that is. Okay. Mike Dickinson, Everton. Hey, what? Brad Shaw, good morning. Oh, yeah. Calico. That got him smiling. Calico. Shout out to Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. As always, appreciate them for Appreciate them for sponsoring Morning Scone. If y'all would hit the share, big help there if y'all could hit the share button. Good and bad yesterday. How about the good? LSU Basketball, 8-0 on the road in conference play. Stunning. I mean, just amazing what they've done. Amazing what they've been able to do. Beep, beep, beep. They go to Bama. They win. The place where Awabasa, where LSU, as we know, has struggled to win over the years. It got closer there at the end than it needed to be. It was really closer throughout the game than it needed to be, but that's kind of how the game has gone with Bama over the years. Calico. But I'll be darned, man. They found a way to get it done. Tremont clearly wasn't yet 100%. Javante took over the game, which was awesome. Skylar made some plays late. How about Skylar going off the backboard to Skylar? Calico to seal it. Are you watching Dr. O? Dr. O. Okay. Let me go see if Dr. O's video might need to be. Okay. Meantime, shout out Brock. So the really good yesterday, of course, was that. Oh yeah, it needs to be restarted. It was loud. Sorry. There it is, bud. There's Dr. O. Look. It's a.
Yeah.
Look, he just sits and watches.
So congenital diaphragmatic
That's
is
Dr. O.
actually one of the conditions that still continues to perplex surgeons, obstetricians and neonatologists. Because it's one of those conditions where there's an anomaly.
Just sits there and watches this medical video. Oh, man. I don't get it, but anyway. Okay, let's put this down. Okay, so the good was obviously LSU Basketball getting a really, really, really significant win. Another Quadrant 1 road win. They are now tied for the most Quadrant 1 road wins in the country with Kentucky and Virginia. I mean, just awesome. The bad, of course, was LSU walking a million Texas hitters again yesterday. So, where y'all want to start? Bo Major, Ben Clark, Carl the Cat, Kerry Tomplay, good morning. Darren Aguilar. Hey, we are going to go on Mommy's Car. Listen, we're going to, after Dad's show, we do Dad's show, okay? And then after Dad's show, we will get dressed and we will go for a ride in Mommy's car. And we will go see Mama and Papa. And who else? Bimo. And Kayla. And who else? Dominic. And who else? Laurel. And who else? Aiden. And who else? Anthony. And Maria. And Lily. He's a Laurel. He just wants to get to Laurel. Laurel, yep. Laurel, yep. He's fired up. Okay. Bruce Mobley, Eric Saunier, good morning. Earl Lytle or Lytle, good morning. Janet Anderson, good morning. Chewy, what an absolute flop of a series by the baseball team. Trying to think of how to ease into that conversation because there's so many different angles to go. The most obvious issue is the walks. 11 walks yesterday and a hit batter, so you gave them 12 bases. You realize LSU actually out-hit Texas. Here's I'll put this on Twitter yesterday. Here's a hot take for you. Texas is not a good hitting team. Like, I'm seeing why they're batting 260, 259 coming into the series. LSU out-hit Texas yesterday. Papa. Inside. Do you realize Texas scored 8 runs yesterday? Bimo, Maria. Dominic. Laurel. Aiden. Anthony. Anthony does not have a car. Anthony is 4 years old. 5 years old. Laurel. Hi. Laurel. Texas had 1 extra base hit. They scored 8 runs with 1 extra base hit. Here's what's so perplexing to me about this. That ballpark, if you've watched the games the last 2 days, is playing like a graveyard. There have been some really hard hit balls. Ryan Reynolds hit a ball yesterday that off the bat looked like at the box it would have gone 450 feet. I mean, he smoked it, and it was a warning track fly to right. Brock Mathis on Friday crushed a ball that was still a loud fly ball out. The ball's not leaving that yard. So, and on top of that, I don't think Texas has many great hitters. Reynolds is a good hitter. Zubia is big, so you kind of feel like if he got into one, it would go a long way, but nothing's leaving that yard. Which is why I can't understand why you wouldn't just challenge hitters. I get, guys want to stuff the stat sheet and the strikeouts are flashy and they want to miss bats. They want swings and misses. But, man, I'd rather a 1-pitch at bat where a guy hits a ball into the ground as opposed to a 9-pitch strikeout, even if you get the strikeout. How many times did LSU start hitters 0-2 and they end up walking them? And look, credit Texas, because I'll tell you this. Texas, I don't think has great talent. I don't think they have talented hitters. Bus.
Go Home Depot.
Go to Home Depot. But what they had, what Texas has that LSU has lacked for the last half decade or longer, Dr. O, go watch him, he's on TV, is a unified approach at the plate. LSU is a free-swinging team. They will, with complete disregard for the pitch count or with the count or a pitcher's pitch count, they they won't go up there with the mindset of, let me just foul off some pitches. Let me make him throw everything in his arsenal in this at bat. Let me take until I get 2 strikes and then be unafraid to hit with 2 strikes. But LSU's hitters talk about this every year. They don't want to hit with 2 strikes, but Texas will. How many pitches have Texas hitters fouled off? And then LSU's pitchers try to nibble or get the strikeout pitch instead of just challenge. Throw it over the plate, man. It's like a few years ago when Omaha used to play really long. It was like, man, just throw it over the plate. It ain't leaving the yard, and there's a better chance than not it's going to find one of your defenders. Let your guys play defense behind you. I think that's the most disappointing thing with the walks. There's no reason to try to miss bats in that park this weekend. Specifically yesterday, Marceau got into trouble. I couldn't believe Paul didn't go get Mikhail Hilliard. I thought for sure we would see Hilliard and then Beck. The fact that he went Marceau and then went and got Aaron George. He went freshman. I thought maybe Hilliard wasn't available. And so then when he went and got Beck, I'm like, okay, well, he just needs to get a veteran into the ballgame at this point because it's unraveling. Beck came in and did really well. And then he went and got Hilliard, and Hilliard was dominant. I'm like, LSU would have had a chance to win that game yesterday had he gone after Marceau, had he gone Hilliard, Beck. And this is not, by the way, Monday morning quarterback or armchair coaching. Go look at my Twitter. I tweeted at the time when they pulled Marceau that I was surprised he didn't go get Hilliard. I think Paul's going to kick himself for that just in relation to the game. But I'll tell you this. I know I'm rambling a little bit. But what's happened the last 2 days is why you love to go play a series like this. Like, the alternative is LSU could have played a home series this weekend against, SUNY, whatever, Bryant, whatever. And fill in the blank directional state U that they would have beaten 18-7 every game. But what do you learn about your team? I'll tell you this much. Now I know those freshman relievers, some of them got the yips, and I don't know that I can trust them yet. I know Hilliard looks really good. I know in a pressure spot I can still count on Matt Beck to come in and throw strikes. I know I know definitively now my pitchers are walking way too many guys. It's different if you're playing Bryant instead of a disciplined hitting team like Texas, and maybe that ball that's 4 inches off the plate that Texas is going to have a good take, Bryant's kid is swinging at it and you get the strikeout. So I love going to play this series. I mean, even if you lose today and you get swept, I mean, I'd much rather today know what I know now about LSU's team, so you have another week to fix it before you get into conference play, as opposed to letting that happen in your first conference series, and then you're scrambling to fix it in the middle of the storm. All right, Jeffrey Bone. Oh wait, golly, missed some comments. All right, I'm gonna get some of your comments. Sorry about that. I just had to go. Darren Arrogant, Hilliard was lights out. Good that he was. Dr. O. Let's see. I'm trying to scroll back. Oops. Let's see. Carly Cat, shake my head always at LSU fans. Now baseball season's over. Pitching sucks. Fire midair. It's just, I've mentioned this before, and I know people don't always like to hear this, but it's a reality of, and I don't think it's just LSU fans. I think it's a lot of baseball fans, but it certainly is LSU fans too. I think people love to follow the team and support the team because they've been really good for a long time. But I think there's a general lack of understanding of the game of college baseball. And I know that sounds condescending, and I don't mean for it to be, but it is the reality. Like, anyone that's going to overreact to a series in the first weekend in March. I mean, last year LSU got blasted at home against Hawaii. 2 years ago they were just terrible for the first couple of months, and they had all the talent. on that team, but they were just like waiting to hit their kick. And once they did, they were awesome. They were awesome down the stretch in conference play. And they were 2 games away from winning a national championship, you know. All right, let's see. Charlie Gale, good morning. Kirk Taylor, oh crap, you're going to get him fired up on a Sunday. Nah, man. Justin Jones, good morning. Arthur Coco, I think Hilliard will end up in the weekend rotation. You know, well, Arthur, see, so this is another reason, right, why a series like this is so beneficial. I think Marceau is going to be great. There's a reason that they put him in the Saturday spot, right? But I remember Aaron Nola's first SEC start. Do you remember? And it wasn't because Nola didn't begin the season as a starter. He was thrown in the midweek, and then they pitched him. I think it was into March. They pitched him in a midweek game at Turchin against Tulane. And he threw like 8 innings, allowed 1 run, no hits, 1 run, something like that. It was no runs, 1 hit, and he was awesome. And then they put him into the rotation, and then they wound up going Gosman, Eads, Nola, and that ended up your rotation in 12. Well, Nola's first start, his very first SEC start, was at home against Mississippi State. He allowed 5 runs in the first inning. And then after that, he came back out, and then he threw like the next 4 or 5 innings and gave up nothing. But it was awful. I mean, it was Aaron Nola wetting the bed. Aaron Nola, like the guy who just finished 3rd for the Cy Young, who was the best pitcher LSU's ever had. I mean, it happens sometimes. So my point is, don't punt on Marceau because of yesterday. I think he'll learn some things from it, which is great. And he was really good the first 2 outings. Let's see what Eric Walker does today. Because if Eric Walker, I think Eric Walker is the perfect type of pitcher for Texas. Like, I think Eric Walker is the kind of, will have a day today where he dominates this ball game because he is a pitch to contact pitcher. He will find bats and induce weak contact. And if LSU plays good defense behind him, Eric Walker can keep his pitch count low because he'll go pound the zone and make Texas swing. And I don't think Texas's hitters are great. And they'll hit a lot of fly ball outs. And I think he can go deep in the game. Meanwhile, Texas is throwing a freshman today. And if LSU can get its bats going against this freshman, then you can go Walker. You haven't used Fontenot yet or Peterson. So theoretically, Fontenot and Peterson can give you 3+ innings. I mean, Fontenot can go 2+. Peterson can go 2+. Can give you 4 innings if you need it. So theoretically, if Walker can get you through 5, we'll see how much stamina he's got. You're in a great position to win this game today. But anyway, so let's see what happens with Walker today. Because if he pitches great, then you have the question about Jaden Hill. Well, does Walker stay in the rotation? You put Hill back in. It's good problems to have. You're also going to see Cole Henry today. So you're going to go Walker, Cole Henry, Fontenot, Peterson. And that should get you through today. Anyway, let's see. Corey Messina, Leroy Blanchard, Michael Brown, and Thomas Chapman. Good morning. Justin Jones. Baseball games have been so hard to watch. Pitching is horrible. I'm going to share this to the ESPN page too. Grow this up a little bit. There's no way around. The comment from Justin says the pitching's horrible. There's no way around like talking about the walks and the hit batsmen. I mean, that's like yesterday, the first batter of the game. I mean, Marceau starts the kid 0-2, and then he hits his jersey. Like just barely clips the jersey. And the guy takes the base. You know what I mean? It's the free passes are almost inexplicable. I mean, at the pace they're going. You tip your cap to Texas because they're making LSU throw a ton of pitches. But what's also undeniable with LSU is they've got great arms. I mean, they've got great arms and great talent. They've just got to be able to throw the ball over the plate. Let's see. Earl says the bottom of the lineup is horrible baseball, Matt. That's true. The bottom of the lineup hit you in the 7th inning. This will tell you everything you need to know. In the 7th inning, LSU's down 5. Down 5 in the 7th. And Pulmonary had Brent Broussard bunt. He didn't get the bunt down, but he had called a bunt. He squared around and couldn't get the bunt down. And ultimately grounded to what? Did he ground it to the double play? LSU. That they have no confidence in him. I think, and Garza can't hit a curveball. So Garza got pulled yesterday at DH. They DH DeJockma. I would DH Chris Reed today. Reed's the only one up there actually fouling off pitches and being competitive, aside from Smith and Watson. Duplantis got a couple of knocks yesterday too, which was nice to see. But I DH Reed today. I would not put Reed at third. I think Hughes is a better third baseman, and this is a day with Walker on the bump where I think you need your best defensive.
No.
So and I keep
No.
Broussard at second. Laurel. Okay. Unless if you felt like, unless if you feel like, because I could play Drew Bianco at second. If you feel like Bianco's a better option at the plate than Broussard, but Bianco can't hit the baseball. He struck out again. I think he's got 8 strikeouts on the season. It's incredible. What? Clap hands for Dad Show comes home. Dad Show. Laurel. But I would DH Reed today. I'd keep Hughes at third because I want his glove there. Almost anybody can play second. I mean, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but we've seen enough guys just, hey, go play second. I mean, Connor Hale went and played second. We saw Jared Foster was an outfielder. Go play second base. Bain plays. Bain was a pitcher his whole career. They put him at second base last year. It's okay, Bain, go play second. You know what I mean? So, theoretically, I guess you could put Chris Reed at second if you felt like you had a better glove. A better bat to DH. If they feel like there's someone on the bench that they like, I'd say Gavin Dugas, but he's obviously got the thumb injury. So hey, bud, listen. Tom Guidros, good morning. Mark Landry, Brian Ashcraft, Chuck Sanchez. Hey, listen, come see. I have to tell you something. No, listen. We are gonna after Dad show. We're gonna go for a ride in the car. We're gonna go have breakfast, and we're gonna see Mama and Papa, and Bimo, and Kayla, and Dominic, and Laurel, and Aiden, and Anthony and Maria. You want to see Laurel? Okay. Here you go. Another shout out to Brock Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. As always, they're tagged in this post, so if you would like their page, that'd be huge. Earl, Matt Alfark and our basketball team go 2C to be the best option. Stay away from Duke region. Hey, wait, okay, use your words. Dr. O. Okay, let's go see Dr. O. Okay. What is that? It's a bunny on the screen. Dr. O. Okay. Look at Drew's toys. Oh my god. You think that kid's got enough toys? Dr. O. Let's see. So to answer your question about how far the basketball team can go. So my answer to that question is going to be the same answer it's been all the way along. I think there's a randomness to the tournament every year. Okay, I mean, we've seen Lehigh beat Duke when Duke was a 2 seed. We saw Kansas lose as a 2 seed. We saw UMBC beat Virginia, first time a 16's beaten a 1. Like, there's a randomness, right? I mean, the draw matters. Are you on that day? Do you miss shots? I mean, upsets happen. It's a tournament. So how far can they go to the Final Four? Yeah, they can go to the Final Four. I mean, of course they can go to the Final Four. Loyola of Chicago went to the Final Four last year. I mean, yeah. I mean, LSU's been to the Final Four as an 11 seed before. Yeah, I mean, of course they can go to the Final Four. At the beginning of the season, now I will pat myself on the back for this. when LSU was picked in the SEC as a 6th seed, when the season started, I said as 6th seed. The season started, they were voted in the league standings 6th. I said I think they will finish 3rd. But the teams behind them, I said Tennessee and Auburn. I thought they'd finish ahead of Kentucky. And they may have, if you can go beat Florida, I mean, you had 2 games to go. You go beat Florida. And you got Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's awful. So, what an opportunity, man. God, what an opportunity. Like, that's starting to register. You know, if they beat Florida this week, you're going to win the SEC. It's crazy. Anyway, Dale Broussard, what's Andy Cannizaro doing these days? He actually just took the head coaching job at Holy Cross in New Orleans, Holy Cross High in New Orleans. Lance Richard, Matt, why are you surprised that Paul Maneri made a bad pitching decision? He does it all the time. Come on. Kyle Gallo, it's still early in the season. The staff is young. They will be a completely different team by SEC play. Well, SEC play is a week away, man. Like, you got Cal coming in here next week, and then it's conference play. So, and I don't buy that the staff is young, because Hess isn't young, Walker's not young, Hilliard's not young, Beck's not young, Peterson, Fontenot, they're not young. I mean, you've got guys that have been around, been in some spots before. I think Maneri right now is trying to figure out what he's got in guys like Chase Costello and Aaron George, and is Vetmeyer ready to step up and play? You know what I mean? So it's like, you'd love to win. You'd love to win these games, and it would have been great if they would have been playing better. But man, but it's also an opportunity for Maneri to look and go, okay, well, you know, I know it's Aaron George pitched really well last week against Bryant. Remember, he came out of the bullpen with a runner on 3rd, and in 2 outs he got a strikeout. And then came out the next inning and struck out 2 out of the 3 batters he faced. He struck out 3 out of 4 hitters he faced. Aaron George was awesome last week at home against Bryant. Now you put him in a tough spot on the road against Texas, and he can't throw a strike. So you temper that expectation. You know what I mean? It's like, that's why going on the road, it's why I wish they would do this every year. I wish they would do this every year and go play a road series. I would so much rather them taste this now than when they hit the road for the first time in conference play. Kip Kippers, good morning. Tommy Prohaska, good morning. Earl, put Hess in the pen. Who'd you throw Friday night? See, Earl? Now that's the kicker, right? So everyone says Hess isn't a Friday night guy. Okay. Is the kid who just threw an inning in the 3rd your Friday night guy? Because he's your Saturday, which tells you he's your number 2. I mean, you put Jaden Hill in there. We hadn't seen him throw against a tough opponent yet. Although it looks good. Eric Walker hadn't pitched for a year. You put him, go to Fresh Market. We went to Fresh Market yesterday, didn't we? I love you.
Mommy car.
We are going to go in Mommy's car. You're right. You're so smart.
Mommy car.
Mommy's car. We are going to go in Mommy's car in a little while after Dad's show. And we're going to go in Mommy's car to go eat breakfast with the whole family. With Mama and Papa and Bimo and Kayla and Anthony and Maria and Dominic and Lily and Laurel and Aiden.
Laura.
Laura. He heard the magic word. Laura. See, Earl, this is the problem, man. If you had a no doubt answer to your question, if you put Hess in the pen, who starts on Friday, if you had a no doubt answer to that question, you could consider it, but you don't. Dustin Roussel, Thomas Bryan, Andrew Bayer, Kirk Taylor. Let's see. I think Paul was just trying to get people experience in tight spots in regards to the pitching. Completely agree. This will pay off in the long run. He was certainly doing that. He certainly does that in the midweeks. But I think and he definitely did it with Costello on Friday. And he did it with George yesterday, but I was surprised. Because with Hilliard available, he should have gone. And again, if you just started watching, I'll mention this again, but I tweeted it yesterday during the game, so it's not like this is, Monday morning quarterbacking. When Marceau came out, Hilliard should have been next. had he gone Hilliard, Beck, I think LSU has a great chance to win the game. LSU out-hit Texas yesterday. They out-hit them. They just walked 11 guys and hit another batter. You gave them 12 bases. I mean, you can't give a good team 12 bases. You cannot give anybody 12 base runners. Let's see. Kyle, today we'll say what kind of team they will be. Punch in the face twice. Do you get up and fight or lay down? Jordan Mensert, his basketball move in the top 10. Saul Lenardi had us a 4 seed. Kick rocks. We can beat anybody. Hi. I think Lenardi is the only of the bracketologists that has LSU as a 4, but he'll move him up a line. At this point, if you're LSU, I think you're solidly on the 3 line. If you win your next 2, you're a conference champ. You would have had 10 quad 1 road wins, undefeated on the road in conference. Hi. I mean, you got a bad home loss to Arkansas. Home Depot. Wabasa. Wabasa. Hey. Can I have a high five? High five? You want Daddy to hold you? Okay. Let's see. Blake Battaglia, good morning, Kyle. Almost every year they start slow. Maneri seems to find a way to get the team to hit their kick in SEC play. Jeremy Barbe. But that's also just the way that, like, Paul, he's a tinkerer. Like, he just tinkers his lineup. He experiments with pitching, and along the way you're going to lose games, and that happens. I know it annoys people because you want to be dominant and win every game, but you have to be playing your best at the right time. I know it's a cliche, but it's true. Like, you use this early part of the season to figure out what you have, get guys experience. When you get the conference play, you feel like you're fielding your best team, but even still then, we know he's going to make changes. He always does. Brian, I'm not worried about Landon. It's more Hess. He throws so violent. I feel it's so hard to sustain. He's done it before. I mean, I don't worry about that. He's got to be consistent putting the ball over the plate. Tommy Prohaska not punting on the kid yesterday. Just need them to rethink. See, Tommy, that's the problem. Like, you rethink Friday with Hess. What do you do? Like, what do you do? So you put Marceau on Friday? Well, he didn't look great yesterday. You put Hill on Friday? Well, he hasn't pitched again. What if Hill was pitching this series and wet the bed? Do you put Walker on Friday? You don't know how much stamina he has. You put Hilliard on Friday? He doesn't look like a Friday guy. There's 85 miles an hour. I mean, realistically. And the other part is you have to consider, even if you have what you feel like is a better bullet in the gun, is it going to be better than Friday night guys in the SEC? And if not, then you have wasted that bullet on Friday, the game that you were already going to be at a deficiency, and now you've put yourself at a disadvantage Saturday and Sunday. I mean, it's not a smart argument. It's just not. Like, you are better with the guy who throws 96 with a wipeout slider on Friday when you get him to harness his stuff and throw it over the plate, which, as many of you conveniently forget, he did for 2 months last year when he was one of the best pitchers in the country. Like, he had an awful first game and then was dominant for 2 months, and then he just ran out of gas at the end of April, probably because he'd never been a starter before, at least not in college. Carl the Cat, what do you think of the arm soreness? Is it from too much use in high school?
Oh, wow.
I think guys have always had arm soreness.
Oh, wow.
I think you're just in an age where you have bonus baby pitchers showing up on campus.
Oh, wow.
And coaches are not going to overuse them.
Wow.
Oh, wow. If it's like, oh, my arm's sore, shut him down. Like, don't go overthrow him. Hey, what do you want? Tell me what you want. You want Dr. O? I think every program has arm injuries. It's loud, golly. I mean, every program has arm injuries. Every program has arm soreness, and it's not atypical. Remember, Florida had a kid, Karsten. Remember Karsten Whitson from Florida? He was drafted like 8th or 9th overall and decided to show up on campus. And his whole time in Florida, he had arm issues. I mean, I don't think Kevin O'Sullivan overworks guys. I just think it's just pitching's an unnatural motion, and if you pitch long enough, you're going to have surgery, basically. Chuck Bro, Brett Kuntz, good morning. Chewy, Hill has outpitched Hess and Marceau. We need him more than the others. But Chewy, you saw Jaden Hill pitch against Air Force, who's the worst team LSU's played so far, and against Bryant. I agree he was great, but I would have loved to have seen. But Marceau was great in his 2 outings too. I would have loved to have seen him on the road against Texas. Stephen Hoogie, boot up or shut up. I love it. Let's see. Pete Giardino, Meridoc, good morning. I'm like you, Matt. I'm not concerned until it gets midway into conference games. LSU always shows life and makes a run late. Pitching will get it together. A lot of young arms. They still need seasoning. The other part is you can't forget that it's baseball and you are going to lose games. Like, nobody wins them all. There's never been an undefeated baseball team. You're going to lose games, and there's going to be days where it looks ugly, where did you hear Ben McDonald say yesterday on the broadcast? He said, look, a third of the time I went out there and I felt like nobody was beating me today. Third of the time I went out there and I had good enough stuff to win. And a third of the time I went out there and I had nothing. I stunk. I mean, that's a guy who was the Golden Spikes winner and the number 1 overall pick in the draft. Some days it just ain't your day. It sucks when it happens, but it's the nature of a very unforgiving game. We are clearly a basketball school now. Oh, man. Brandon Lejeune, what's up, man? Lowell Cormier, the stats on walking batters this weekend is equivalent to a Little League game. Sorry, Tigers, you peed the bed so far. That's true. I mean, and you have to give a gigantic amount of credit to Texas because their hitters are not afraid to hit with 2 strikes. They choke up, they foul off pitches, they have smart takes. They know they've scouted LSU's pitchers. They know what to lay off of. They're driving up pitch counts. It's a very, very smart approach, and LSU doesn't do it. LSU goes and they hacks. Oh, watch how many LSU hitters swing at the first strike. It's almost every Texas hitter. Pay attention to this today. Almost every Texas hitter will get to 2 strikes because they're not afraid to hit with 2 strikes. It's something that I've had this conversation with Terrio so many times about, and not Terrio, fart joke Terrio. I mean, like, guy who played 10 years of Major League Baseball, won 2 World Series, Terrio. He said, like, great hitters are not afraid to hit with 2 strikes. And it's because you're not afraid of striking out because you know that you'll get up there and you'll make contact, but you want to see everything that guy has in his arsenal. So you make him throw pitches. Like, LSU never takes strike 1. Never. They'll swing through strike 1, but they never they're never just watching until they get a strike. Texas, that's all Texas does. Texas, they don't swing at the first strike ever. It's just such a demoralizing. It's so demoralizing to a pitcher when you're up there and you're throwing, when you're making competitive pitches and you're still up there for 6, 7, 8, 9 pitches per at bat. It's exhausting, and you're more likely to make a mistake and end up in a 40 pitch inning. Let's see. Chewy, when is Garza going to be behind the plate? It's a good question, Chewy. Actually, I saw yesterday. I think it was Mommy Shark. Garza was squatting yesterday, not behind the plate, not with gear on, but he was squatting in the outfield, working on squats and pops. So he's getting closer, which is good. I'm excited to see Garza behind the plate. Mathis has done a good job of blocking pitches, but Maneri can only sell me so long on the stolen bases aren't all on Mathis. I mean, come on. Sam Dupierre, Russell Clark, Larry Bueller, good morning. Irfan, good morning. Jared Catalano, good morning. Tex Morris, what's up, Tex? Hey, baby. Shh. Shh. Love you. Joe Jubal, what's up, man? Brooke Barnett, what's up, Brooke? Let's see. Dustin Roussel, hitting will be fine. Clean up walks. Oh, shh. I love you. All right, go watch Dr. O. Let Daddy get through some of these questions. Ooh, it's almost 8:30. 8:30, I'm out. Let's see. Dustin Roussel, clean up the walks and throw out runners at second. My only real concerns. Bottom third of the order is a problem, though. It's automatic outs. They've got to get production. So I would DH. I think Paul will DH Reed today, or start him at second. He's either going to DH Chris Reed or start him because Paul is streaky. He will play the hot hand. That's his MO. So, buddy, I haven't slowed your food today. Why are you doing this? Come see. See where we are. I'm going to wait 10 minutes, okay? I'm going to wait 10 minutes and then we'll finish. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Earl, crazy Matt, the Bulldogs beat Florida. Florida's not a great team. It was just a bad matchup for LSU, and I'm not surprised with State needing to win. Hang on. Hi, what is he smiling at? You goose. Hang on, y'all. I'm coming right back. Okay. All right, I got 10 more minutes, y'all. Then I got to get in the shower. 10 more minutes. Morning Scone presented by Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. They are open on weekends after hours, as you see right there. So, sports medicine, or all of the subspecialties. So if you end up in a spot where, you're out there running this weekend or playing flag football and, you hurt your elbow or, you hurt your ankle, get on over to Brock. They're open on the weekends. Kerry LeBlanc, Kevin Graham, good morning. Robert Boudreaux, I can live with Walker as the Friday night guy. Theoretically, but he gives you an advantage on every single Sunday. And if you can split the first two, just like 2 years ago, you'll always have an advantage on Sunday. And I got to see Walker regain his form. Let's see, Kevin Graham, Shelley Melanson, good morning. Kirk Taylor, favorite place to eat breakfast on a Sunday in Baton Rouge. Oh, that's a good one. We like another broken egg. Mason's Grill's pretty good. Y'all let me know if y'all got others. That's normally where we go. Broken egg. We're going to La Madeleine today, though. They have a big room in the back, so we can have all of our crazy people together. Emil Provost, good morning. Justin Jones, good morning. Dr. O. Kevin Harrell, Jonathan Taylor, John Boudreaux, Rusty Sethoff. Dr. O. Oh, is Dr. O finished? You need Dr. O again? Hey, Mommy's in there. Go see Mommy. No, look, Mommy's in the kitchen. Mommy's in there with Dr. O. Alan Dunn getting a lot of criticism with the pitchers, now all the arm soreness. See how it plays out. It might just be that you know more about it now because they disclose it, and they're shutting guys down as opposed to ask Doug Thompson about that. Like guys in the old 6-team regionals where they pitched twice in a weekend. Everybody had arm soreness. You just pitched through it and didn't say anything. Let's see. Chris Crochet, Watson looking good in the 2-hole, no doubt. Hunter Picard, Madhouse Savages, Marlon Taylor. I love that dunk yesterday, man. Doug Peterson, Friday night guy. I think you mean Todd Peterson. Doug Peterson is the coach of the Eagles. Anyway, hashtag baseball fans. Pete Giardino, I told you the baseball team needed to lose for morning scone griping. Hey, Mark, good morning. Brian Robert, did you know Mary Lou Retton is Kramer Robertson's mom? That is not true. Brandon Lejeune, Marlon Taylor with the hockey elbow. He's lucky he didn't get kicked out of that game, man. He blatantly threw an elbow. Pete Giardino, LSU Baseball needs to get Riley Norris. I think Jimmy Dykes does a good job. I do. I think he does a good job on the broadcast, typically. Yesterday, he was nauseating. Like, listening, and I'm not one that often complains about broadcasters. Like, it's possible that you're good at your job and you have a bad day, just like any of us, right? I mean, you can be good at what you do and have a bad day, have a bad game, have a bad, it's in every profession that's possible. You can be a teacher and you leave and you feel like you just didn't have a great day, you know. There are shows when I walk out the studio and I didn't feel great about that one. I think that's true for everybody in life, no matter what your profession is. And I think Jimmy Dykes is really good as a color analyst. Yesterday he was nauseating. It was a rough listen. Thomas Bryan, chance for a very special year in basketball, patience with baseball, well said. Hey, Jeb Whitley, good morning. Hey, Uncle Mike, good morning. Mark, good morning. Ingram wants big money. Don't give it to him at all. 30-year-old running backs don't get big money. They're a dime a dozen. Gentry may be coaching again next year for the Pelicans. I hope not. LSU won't be allowed in the top 10. I think they'll be in the top 10 after this. Well, I'd have to look at the poll to see what the other results were this week because I don't know them off the top of my head. But you'd also have to have someone else move down for you to move up. So that's kind of part and parcel with it. Joey DeStefano, Brandon DeVille, seems like Smith and Reed are the only ones go up to the plate and see pitches. That's true. That's very true. They're the Duplantis. Duplantis will take that approach sometimes. But Smith and Reed are the ones that are up there. Look, like just pay attention to it. Those are the guys that are not afraid to hit with 2 strikes. They will work a count. They'll foul off pitches and they'll just grind out an at bat. Where even if you just have to throw the bat at something that's marginal, just to poke it foul to stay alive, they'll do it. Those two are the only ones. Mark, good morning. Pelicans winning are going to screw up the draft. How about that? They've won 2 in a row now. They've won one more game than the Lakers, or one fewer game than the Lakers. What happened to the North Carolina coach? Roy Williams. So he had vertigo, but he's fine. Who will go pro from LSU basketball? Well, Cavell's a senior, and then Tremont and Nas are the 2 that I think that everyone understands around the program are gone. I think Emmett's probably the one to watch to see what decision he makes. I wish they'd all come back, but I think they've pretty much assumed all along that Nas and Tremont are gone. Jason Bourgeois, Lee McCaffrey, good morning. Rodney Griffin, what's the deal with the LSU baseball game not being on channel we can watch without purchasing the Longhorn Network? So it's a Texas home game, right? So Texas owns, just like when LSU hosts Southeastern or Bryant last weekend. Well, it's part of the LSU's network package, which is the SEC network. Texas has their own network, the Longhorn Network. So in cable tiers, like in tiered packages, you have to have a sports tier that has the Longhorn Network. Even though ESPN runs the Longhorn Network, it's its separate own entity where you have to subscribe for that channel. So that's why. Let's see. Pete Giardino, I get Longhorn through Dish. I'm not buying any extra package good. If you have sports tier, what I did, and thanks to whoever mentioned this, on my Roku downloaded the PlayStation View app, and I just did the 5-day free trial for the tier that has the Longhorn Network on it, so I watched it on Roku. And there's also, if you search Reddit or other things like that, there's other streams that you can find it for free if you don't feel like paying for it. Jim Walsh, the elbows being thrown around and a player being body slammed to the ground, just two isolated incidents or more disturbing pattern. Feels isolated, and we haven't seen that all year. And you never. And the other thing I'll tell you is you never know. You, like, as someone who's had tons of these conversations with players, you never know what's being said on the floor or on the field. Like, you never know what that guy is doing or saying that triggers that reaction. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying it's not like it's just passively you're running down. You go, I'm going to catch an elbow in this guy's face right now. My guess is there was probably some talking or grabbing or stuff. Just a guess. James Roy, Daniel Lewis, what's up, guys? Ryan Broussard, got about another minute or two. Great question. Will Waters or Nas stay? I don't think so. I don't know if they stayed. Look out. I just don't think they do. Hoont Palmario. What's up, Hoont Palmario? Nate Bumstead. What's up, Nate Bumstead? Bob Simo. Search YouTube. There you go. That's another example. You can go on YouTube and look for the Texas LSU baseball game, and there are people who have links for it on YouTube. There's ways to get it. Hey, Aunt Nancy. Good morning, Randy Messina, Ben Giat, Mike Sonia. We are done. We are at the end. Cool. Remember, as always, Calici beat up on Jesuit this weekend. Take that, Gordy Rush. Ha. Remember about our friends at Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Brock is tagged in this post. If you would, please, 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 it would be a gigantic help for me if you would click on the Brock link there, like their page. Just go to their page, hit the little like button. That'd be great if you do that. And, if you have need for any of these subspecialties, you would go see our friends at Brock. Okay, y'all have an awesome day. LSU Baseball at 1 o'clock. Fired up for it. I'll be watching. I'll be on Twitter. Let's hope that LSU doesn't walk a dozen guys again. Have an awesome day. See y'all.